Hi, everyone. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I'm Stella, Strategy Communication Officer, Johnson Controls. Welcome again. And I will be the host and facilitator for today. Smart Talk is an engineering apprenticeship right for me. So we hope in this session, you will be able to find out more. So now let me start. On behalf of Johnson Control, I welcome all of you to our webinar today. And let me introduce our speaker. Can you flip to the next slide? So originally we have Tracy Theo, our account manager, education skill funding and agency. And then, likely due to some technical issues, she may not be able to join us. And Victoria Douglas, she is our apprenticeship program manager. And we have Matt Singleton, his installation manager, our ADT. ADT is our home security business. So, and he is our alumnus. He joined us as an apprentice and worked his way up. And we have our two existing apprentices, Julia Milutinovic. She is in her first year of apprenticeship. She is in design apprentice, Global Marine and Navy. And we have Jamie Nguyen. He's in his third year, BMS control. And then also his division is connected building technologies. We should have Victoria Elliott, who is our talent acquisition specialist, but likely she may not be able to join us, but we will do our best to talk through the content. Okay, next slide, please. And by the way, we also have Dave. He is the hero at the back end, helping us to facilitate this webinar and help us out during the Q&A session. Now, this is our agenda. And we will cover, this is the topics that we would like to cover. We will give you a very short overview about a company, and then why apprenticeship. And then Victoria will talk about our opportunity. And then there will be a chit-chat session. You will be able to connect with our free apprentices or graduated apprentices to ask them about their real life experience. Then we will have a Q&A session. Please feel free to type your question into the chat box, okay? Or raise your hand to we try to call you out. Then we will tell you where to look up for your information, and then how to apply. Okay, this is how we would like to spend our time today. Now, can you flip to the next slide? Johnson Control. We will our mission is to transform the environment where people live, work, learn, and play. Okay, we are the global leader in smart, healthy, and sustainable buildings. We offer building solutions. We offer building technology, software, and services. Our customers are in the industry such as schools, stadium, healthcare, and manufacturing. Now, next, please. You will see on this slide a lot of important figures, but I will call out a few. We have a history of more than 130 years of innovation. We have a global team of 100,000 experts globally in more than 150 countries over the world. 90% of the world, the most iconic buildings are using our solutions, using our products, or using our services. We help our customers to save energy, and the energy amount that we have saved is over 3.9 billion. So now totally, we also have reduced 26 million metric tons of CO2 emission. So this is about our company. Now let's flip to the other slide. So this part is more about apprenticeship. Why are we doing apprenticeships? Because you can learn and train for a specific job. You will get paid and you will have holiday leave while you're working. You can get hands-on experience in the real job. You can study for at least 20% of your working hours. And usually you can go to college, university, or with our training providers. And at the end of the apprenticeship, there will be assessment, and you will complete those assessments. And don't forget, this is funded from contribution made by the government, at the same time also support from your employer. very importantly, there will be no student debt. So this is a career path and with a lot of full potentials. Next.
Some really great ideas there. Hi, Stella.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, Victoria, you can talk through the levels, right?
Absolutely. It's such a shame that Tracy can't join us this afternoon. We have had a few technical issues, everybody. So Tracy's a great advocate for apprenticeships because she works for the ESFA for the government, so Education and Skills Funding Agency. She works with a wide range of businesses, including ourselves, supporting us with our apprenticeship program. So she would have been able to maybe, I guess, give a bit of a wider understanding of how apprenticeships fit in. But I'm sure one of the things that she would have mentioned would be that apprenticeships are absolutely at the centre of sort of the government education agenda. And we may have seen that change over the years with apprenticeships becoming the, I guess, more popular choice to university. And I think that's more so since COVID, and since I guess students are questioning value for money now of their degree and their university experience. So what's great is that apprenticeships offer the real alternative to university. So you can gain exactly the same qualifications as you might do at university. You can go all the way up to degree and master's degree level through an apprenticeship. There's a level applicable to every job role, and there's a different type of apprenticeship out there almost suited to every job role. So through that apprenticeship, not only will you gain a industry recognized qualification, and will you be trained up to the industry standard, but also you'll gain some incredible experience through that as well. And I think that's what makes an apprenticeship truly unique to going to university, is that work experience that you will gain, and that will help your CV stand out from the rest as well. So that's I guess a bit of background around apprenticeships themselves. So I'm happy to talk about Johnson Controls apprenticeships, and I guess what makes us unique to other employers. So it's kind of ironic that we're doing today's webinar because it's actually National Careers Week this week. So it's a fantastic time to be thinking or talking to employers about what opportunities they can provide you. And here at Johnson Controls, through many of the businesses that make up the organisation we are today, we've been recruiting apprentices now for over 140 years. So it's fair to say that apprenticeships are absolutely in our DNA. And there's many employees across the organisation who came through apprenticeships. So you might have seen during National Apprenticeship Week some of the apprentice alumni stories that we shared. And one of those was our own VP, Andy Ellis, who started as an apprentice in engineering and is now a leader of our business. And he's just one of the many fantastic examples we've got. And I think that was one of the reasons that drew me 3 years ago to come and be the apprenticeship manager at Johnson Controls. So Stella told you a little bit about what we do as an organisation, so building technologies and solutions. So we manufacture, we install and we service a wide range of building technology solutions. So here in the UK and Ireland, we employ over 120 apprentices. So I'd like to think that you're in a safe pair of hands with a long legacy of successful apprentices who've gone through the programme. On the slide in front of you, you'll see the range of opportunity through our apprenticeship programme. So typically apprentices enrol on a level 3, which is equivalent to A levels. Now, I know for some of you who might be at college already doing A levels or a level 3 BTEC, you're thinking, I've already done this. But we map all of our job roles to levels. And just because you've done a level 3, maybe equivalent qualification at college, it isn't a barrier to you applying to a level 3 apprenticeship because of the new experiences and skills that you'll gain. And beyond the level 3, which is a typical duration of 3 to 4 years, you'll also have the opportunity to progress onto higher and degree apprenticeships as well. So Johnson Controls, as I said, we're a diverse organisation, and opportunities for apprentices are working in our land-based security businesses. So with brands such as ADT, our electronic fire and security systems installation business and service business. There's our fire suppression business. So a really interesting area of the company that focuses around suppression of fire and sprinklers. So life safety systems is something that we're heavily involved in. Our HVAC business, clean air being absolutely important to the world around us, especially since COVID. Connected building technologies, and that's where Jamie, one of our apprentices today, works in one of the business units. And there we have a major projects team with an integrated systems team, and also building management systems. Apologies for all the acronyms you might come across today, whether that be an apprenticeship one or a Johnson Controls one, but hopefully we'll give you some really good insight into the company. Lots of the products and services that we install and service are done in different sectors. So that might be within the oil and gas industry, where there's a wide range of products and services that we offer to very unique customers there. And the same in our global marine and navy business, which is where Julia, our apprentice today, comes from. And as I mentioned, we manufacture a lot of products as well. So in all, there's a huge range of qualifications and apprenticeships that you could do over that 3 and 4 years. So really unique. Some field operations, some design roles, some manufacturing roles. There's something for everyone who's interested in engineering. So if you could move to the next slide, please. So I guess you're thinking about, well, what can you expect from an apprenticeship at Johnson Controls? And I think I'm going to tell you, I guess I'm going to take you through that apprenticeship journey. So from day one, you'll be offered a permanent opportunity in the company. And I think that really demonstrates our commitment and clear investment in you as an individual. Every apprentice who comes on board would attend a centralised induction, usually coordinated by myself, with lots of presenters from around the business to welcome you, but also give you a really strong foundation for success. What's also great about our induction is the opportunity to meet other apprentices just like you, who'll be going through that same apprenticeship journey or starting that same apprenticeship journey, and you can start to grow your internal network of colleagues. We provide a supportive environment, so you'll have the opportunity to thrive. So as well as having a line manager, every apprentice is assigned a mentor, so you have access to lots of support throughout that time. And I will also be a regular point of contact throughout the apprenticeship. So whether that's to provide HR or pastoral support, just somebody to talk to if you have a question, somebody to pick up the phone to at any time during that journey. And we want to reward and recognise our apprentices. You know, each of our apprentices, those 120 or more apprentices, play a really important part in our company. And so therefore, all of our apprentices are on a unique pay structure, which means that on an annual basis, there's the opportunity for a pay increase. So the pay that you start on isn't the pay that you finish on. And every year as you progress and gain skills, we also recognise that through a pay increase. So that's not the only way that we recognise and reward our apprentices. We've got recognition platforms internally, and that might be just to give peer-to-peer recognition between colleagues, or some more formal awards that we also have as well. One of the awards that we have internally is our Apprentice of the Year category. Jamie was one of those entrants, and it's a really strong competition between those apprentices who go above and beyond in our business. And outside of Johnson Controls, we also encourage apprentices to get involved in industry competitions and awards. So we've had apprentices compete in World Skills, Engineers of Tomorrow, and we've had apprentices such as Jessica Goodson, which you might have seen on some of our social posts, who was awarded Apprentice of the Year at the British Security Industry Awards. And also Jamie, who's recently just been made a finalist for an award, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But around that sort of recognition and reward, we also hold an annual graduation event. So just like you would have at university, why wouldn't we celebrate the graduation of our apprentices? And that's a really high point in our sort of, I guess, our calendar in the year. So what else can you expect from us? Well, part of my role is to ensure that every apprentice receives quality training throughout their programme. So I have regular points of contact with all of our training providers in colleges, which hopefully gives you the reassurance that you're supported in that learning journey as well. And when it comes to opportunity, of course, we've talked about Johnson Controls and how big and unique it is, but that also, that global business provides such vast and exciting opportunities as well. So we are continually evolving and we're continually growing. And I think that change presents so much career opportunity for you. So, and because we are, diverse and because we are global, there's that space and that opportunity for personal growth and development. And we have mentoring schemes in the business, as well as many internal networks through business resource groups that bring talented individuals together as well. And when your apprenticeship ends, the learning doesn't have to stop there either. And Matt's going to be a great example of that when we talk a little bit later. But we have so many individuals who've carved out such successful career pathways through apprenticeships, and learning doesn't stop at the end of your apprenticeship. So there's lots of learning and development through whether it's internal programs or external programs. So you could also go on to higher and degree apprenticeships, which many of our previous apprentices have done. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a flavour of the apprenticeship programme at Johnson Controls. And I think we'll now move to our chit chat, Stella.
Sure. Next page, yes. I'm very glad. As I mentioned, we have 3 special speakers. Now this is our chit chat session. Let me bring out our 3 speakers. First of all, I think Julia and Jamie, and then Matt. Maybe first of all, you can start with a short introduction about yourself, your name, your current title, your role, when did you join us? And then I know Victoria will talk to you. And then if we still have some time, I may add in some questions, but we will definitely open up the session to see whether our participants would like to chat with you, whether they type in their questions or they can raise their hands. Okay, now pass the time to you, Julia.
Hi everyone, I'm Julia. So I'm in the Global Marine and Navy Department at Johnson Controls, and I'm a first year apprentice. So I've been with the company since August last year, so for 6 months now. And yeah, so that's me. Hi.
Brilliant. And Jamie?
Yep, afternoon guys. Jamie Nguyen. I've been an apprentice at Johnson Controls for 3 years now. I joined in 2019 after finishing my A-levels in maths, physics and economics, and yeah, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so I explored my options and found out that maybe an apprenticeship was the right choice for me. So I joined Johnson Controls as a controls engineering apprentice, and was enrolled into a level 3 in building services engineering. I've recently just finished that, and now I'm looking forward to being enrolled onto a level 4 in building energy management systems.
Fantastic. And we'll talk to you, JB, a little bit later about your recent nomination, but our 3rd speaker, Matt.
Hi, afternoon, everybody. So yeah, my name's Matt Singleton. I'm an installation manager. I've been here a long time. I work for the ADT business of Johnson Controls, dealing with fire and security. And I've been here, as I say, a very long time, since the year 2000.
Fantastic. Thanks for the introductions, and great to have you all on today, because yeah, it's so easy for me to talk about what's great about Johnson Controls apprenticeships, but here you can hear it from, you know, from your individual perspective. So Julia, you're I guess our most recent apprentice to join the business in the last intake last year. So how's it going? Talk to me about your, I guess, the 6 months at Johnson Controls.
Hi. Oh, sorry. Is it working? There we go. So yeah, so the 6 months, my first 6 months have been really great. So already I've been on a lot of training sessions, and so similarly to what Jamie did, I did my A-levels, and then now I'm enrolled in level 3 design and draftsperson qualification BTEC, and yeah, so we go to college 1 day a week, and then the rest of the week we're in the office, or we have a warehouse and we have a workshop. We also can go on site as well. So my first 6 months, we've been thrown into every aspect of the business, which has been great. So I've got to see a lot of parts of the business, and it's been quite structured learning. So that's been really great. So I really liked it.
Oh, brilliant. And you work in the lovely Tyco Park office in Manchester. So how have you found the team there?
Yeah, so it's been amazing. So a lot of my department, especially the senior engineers and the managers, all started as apprentices as well. So it's amazing to see the progression and where being an apprentice can take you in the company. So it's definitely, yeah, it gives you a lot of faith that you chose the right place to stay, for sure. And yeah, so the offices are really nice. So we've got like a canteen, and like a big office space. And then, like I said, across the road, we've got a big stores and a warehouse, so we can get a lot of different sides of the business. Even though I'm just technically doing design, I can try a lot of the other aspects too.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's really important when you first start out, is to understand, I guess, that the end-to-end process, isn't it? And you work in a really well, I guess everyone works in a unique part of the business, but global marine and navy, I guess you're limited to what you can talk about maybe, but yeah, it sort of, I guess, give us a bit of an idea of maybe some of the tasks that you've done so far.
So I work on the fire suppression systems for Marine and Navy. Obviously, because we work on Navy contracts, that's quite confidential, so we can't talk about that. But yeah, so essentially we fit and we design and install the fire suppression systems on board ships. So from creating all the panels, all the electrical side, to the sprinklers and all the pipes and everything that's connected to the fire suppression on board a ship.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully you've not broke any secrets.
No, I don't think
we can axe there. No,
it's
no, it's great to hear. I guess how you recently came in, a bit about your background, studying, and then hopefully an insight into one area of the business. And Jamie, yeah, you came from A-levels as well. So yeah, progressing already now after 3 years, progressing from doing your level 3. In building services, and you attended Westminster College to do that, and now going on already onto your level 4. The time's gone so quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, the 3 years has just disappeared.
Yeah, and you've worked in some fantastic projects. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like working in BMS, and what do you do?
Yeah, so BMS, I think it's quite a niche part of the industry. There's not many people that know about BMS controls, but yeah, when I first came out of school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I knew I had some sort of interest in maths and physics, and luckily I had my brother who also works in building services. So he thought it'd be a good idea to maybe look for some BMS controls companies, because he said that it was a good balance between working on the tools, being on site, and also doing a bit of software. So yeah, it's been a great balance. Yeah, but working in London, you definitely get to be on a wide range of different sites. So one day you might be at a data center, one day it might be an office block or a warehouse. So they all present their own different challenges, but yeah, a great learning experience.
Yeah, we always say one day is never the same at Johnson Controls, and that probably is a key example of that, of the different sites that we work on. And what about this recent nomination for for the British Controls Industry Awards, is it as well? So
oh no, that's great. But I think this nomination and awards, it's always a two-way street. I think I've been lucky enough to have worked with loads of experienced engineers. I think the guys I've worked with, no one's had less than 30 years experience. So yeah, all of the guys I've worked with, they've been really positive, and I think they're all open to sharing their knowledge. They don't keep anything to themselves, which is definitely something you can come across, but I've been lucky enough to not have met anyone like that yet. But yeah, it's great. I try to learn what I can from them. And yeah, 4 days a week on site with 1 day in college is a good balance as well.
Yeah, definitely. That time to learn all the theory and then apply that in the workplace, and now moving on to our higher apprenticeship as well is I guess it just shows that learning doesn't stop after that 3 or 4 years. So
absolutely.
Thank you, Jamie, and congratulations. I can't wait to attend that award and dust off my sparkly dress. So Matt, I guess one of our apprentice alumni. So I think we wanted you to be involved in this webinar for a couple of reasons, really. So to talk about, I guess, your experience. So can you tell us a bit about your background a little bit more?
Yeah, so similar to what Jamie said when I left school, probably a lot longer than Jamie back in time, but I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to get into a trade, but I didn't really think about the fire and security business that I ended up moving into. I attended a few sort of sessions around apprenticeships, and the ADT one jumped out at me for some of the things that you spoke about earlier, Victoria, around learning on the job, the constant reviews that you can have in the job. And let's be honest, we all come to work to earn money, and the pay reviews of an apprentice appealed to me in the ADT business. So that was back in 2000 when I started. So the apprenticeship looked a little bit different back then. So we did a electrical qualification as part of the apprenticeship, whereas today we've actually got a tailor-made fire and security qualification that our apprentices go through. So I did a 3-year apprenticeship, attending college 1 day a week, similar to what Jamie mentioned. After that time, passed out as a qualified engineer. I stayed in that role for 5 to 6 years. Then, as I like to do, I like to challenge myself. And in Johnson Controls, there's lots of opportunities to do that. Plenty of avenues where you can push yourself. So I took the jump into junior management role, what we call a field line manager. So I was then overseeing the engineers and the apprentices that I'd been working with. And then I guess why I'm on here today is I took the next step, then moved into the installation manager role now. So I'm now responsible for a team of 60 engineers, including 5 apprentices and also 10 field line managers.
Yeah, and it's great when I do join those apprentice progress reviews, when we talk to the field line managers that you mentioned, how many of those were apprentices once. So that's that career pathway, isn't it, that's on offer. And I guess we talked about lifelong learning as well. So you've gone full circle, right?
Yeah, so as I said, I like to continually push myself. So what I've done is I've actually taken on the level 5 apprenticeship now in operational management. I started that 6 months ago. It's been very different through COVID, so a lot of online learning, but yeah, continual progression. So really enjoying it.
Yeah, we've done a lot of what we call development apprenticeships. So people like you across the business doing various different types of apprenticeships aligned to their job roles. So that's been really exciting to be involved in too. It's lovely to hear all of your experiences, and I guess those who are attending today can ask you so many more questions as well.
Sorry, Victoria, should we try to see if our audience would like to send us some questions?
Absolutely, let's do that. Yeah,
so for the participant here, you can either type your question to the chat box so I can read it out, or if you like, you can raise your hand. There's a button there, and then I can call your name, and you will be able to unmute yourself. So I give you a little time to think of your question. While I'm waiting for your question, may I ask a question? Yeah, I really, by hearing all of them sharing their experience, I really want to ask a question. So in fact, I think you all going through different paths, right? Different experience, different programs. So what will be the one thing that you like the most in this program? Maybe we take turn, Julia.
So yeah, what I like the most about the program is just the level of scope and how big the business is. So you're not kind of boxed into just one position forever. You can, so even for myself, I'm doing electrical design, but that could be, if I choose, I could be more on the design side, or I could be more on the installation side. I could be on site as well. So it's just the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of choices, so it's really great. And that's the great thing about apprenticeships, that if you can just do your apprenticeship and then you can wait to do your HNC or HND later on and choose a different field if you prefer. Whereas with uni, you're kind of stuck to that one topic for the entire duration. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, RC. How about Jamie? What's the one thing that you like most?
Well, I think my apprenticeship experience, I've been able to get involved with many different parts of the business. So I've been involved in the design, installation and commissioning of building management systems. So I think the thing I like most is just trying to figure out what you enjoy most and what you don't enjoy, which I remember my first year coming into my apprenticeship, that was my main goal. I wanted to find out what I was good at, or what I didn't enjoy, or what I did enjoy. And yeah, sitting here in my third year, I think I've got a good picture, or at least a better picture of that, definitely.
Good that you're still enjoying it. And
yeah.
Matt, yeah, and you do still remember?
Yeah,
I know that's quite a while ago.
So yeah, from when I was an apprentice, I think, as I said when I spoke earlier, the biggest part that I enjoyed was the blend of education and getting into a trade and earning a wage, if I'm completely honest with you. In my current role, I think the bit I like about it the most is watching young people coming into the business and watching their career paths and how they develop. Excuse me, the lights have just gone out on me in here. So yeah, watching the development of the young people who come into the business is probably the highlight for me.
That's great. And
Yeah.
and I think and what would be your sort of one key piece of advice to anyone that's attending today that wants to do an apprenticeship?
Is that to me? Yeah,
I'll
I'd say
sorry,
yes.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I should have said.
Do your research. As I say, I don't think there's a lot of people when we leave school and college that 100% know where they want to take their careers. But one piece of advice I'll do is, in a big organisation like Johnson Controls, is aim big and push yourself continually, and you can go great places.
Fantastic. And Julia?
Yeah, so my advice is, so especially once you get the apprenticeship, just to be like a sponge and just soak up all the information, because you get so many experiences and a lot of opportunities, and don't be afraid to like ask questions and ask for more training as well, because it will be provided, and it's a really good company, definitely.
Great. And Jamie, any final advice from you?
I think if you do decide to do an apprenticeship, just come in with an open mind. That's one of the most important things. There's going to be things, as I said, there's going to be things that you enjoy doing and don't enjoy doing. Just be open-minded and be willing to get involved with all of it. Fantastic advice from the three of you. Thank you.
Hey, I got one question I received earlier. I think maybe everyone will be interested to know. This question is about, can the apprenticeship be done part-time?
I'm happy to take that one. Yeah. Well, an apprenticeship's full-time. You're in full-time employment at Johnson Controls, as I mentioned, offered a permanent opportunity from day one. So there isn't the opportunity to do part-time apprenticeships in our organisation. It's a full-time role, so usually between 37 and 40 hours a week. And then with time attending college or your training provider. So some of our apprentices do that one day a week. and our ADT or fire and security apprentices go to college on block release and stay away for a week at a time, staying in a hotel. So it's almost impossible to do it part-time, but you do get that lovely blend of learning and working as well.
Good. And Victoria, there's one more question just came in. Do you take apprenticeships from all around the country?
We do, yes. So I'm really lucky that we have the apprenticeship program that I manage is UK and Ireland wide. So I can think of opportunities off the top of my head, all the way from the very southwest of England, all the way up to the most northerly reaches of Scotland, and then across to, you know, Ireland, whether that be Northern or the Republic of Ireland as well. As there's opportunities all across the country. So you know, do get on our website, and we'll share the link in a minute, so you can see how to apply.
Right, that's another question coming in. Thank you for your questions. What would you be looking for in, sorry, there's one more before this one. Getting in more questions.
Oh, fantastic.
What types of circuits could you be servicing or installing? Who would be the right person to answer this one?
I'm going to bow out of that one, not being the technical person.
I guess the answer to that, it would depend on what part of the business you came into. So from my point of view is, I work in the ADT business, it's fire alarms and intruder alarms and CCTV. So we're lucky enough to have Tyco as one of our brands. So we manufacture our own products in terms of fire alarms and CCTV equipment. But we don't limit ourselves to that. We use all third-party equipment out in the industry as well. So it is a big range of products. It's a short answer.
Yeah, quite a technical, detailed question. Probably we could take that one offline. We could probably write an essay on that particular subject for each area of the business. Have we got any more questions, Stella?
Yeah, there's one more. Okay, two more. That's nice. What will you be looking for in the correct apprentice for the role?
Yeah,
maybe Victoria.
So I'll go again. Yeah. What do we look for? Well, we have entry requirements. So that's a minimum of, so in England that's 5 GCSEs, 5 GCSEs grade A to C in old grading system, and that's 4 to 9 in the new grading system. So that's our absolute essential require for anyone who wants to apply, and that's to ensure that somebody's not being set up to fail, that they've got the best opportunity to pass in the apprenticeship with us. And then beyond that, really, we're recruiting on behaviours. So we don't necessarily ask for any particular work experience prior to joining us or other prior qualifications in engineering, but somebody who's got a keen interest in that particular area, has done some research and has that real willingness to learn. So I guess, Matt, you might be able to help us on this one in terms of, you know, you've probably been involved in some of our assessment centres in the past. What's been a standout candidate for you?
Charisma, first start. So somebody that jumps off the page to you. So I believe straight away when you, if you attend an interview, that the way you portray yourself in that interview and present yourself in that interview, you can learn a lot about people with first impressions. First impressions are really important. And as I've touched on earlier, I like to see someone's got a drive about them and they want to do well in their careers. So they're definitely some of the key points for me.
Yeah, I think if you're hungry to learn and you're hardworking, there's so much opportunity here and you can go so far. So I think they're probably some of the key behaviours that we look out for. Absolutely.
We have one or two more because we just, as Matt mentioned, there is a wide range of apprenticeship we can offer. So this question is, would you suggest a certain apprenticeship for a candidate, or would it be up to them to find the right apprenticeship? And
yeah, it's kind of,
which both ways,
kind
or
of, yeah, it
or-
can work both ways, definitely. We've had times where, and I think Victoria Elliott, who's in talent acquisition, does a great job at working with candidates to support them to find the right opportunity as well. By all means, when we share the link in a second, you can go ahead and apply, but we'll also provide some contact details. So in case you've got any questions about particular roles, through the website, you can see what opportunities are available in your local area, and that might be the reason why you apply for that particular position, or there might be multiple roles within a particular area as well. So in which case you've got choice, but absolutely we can talk about that. But just going back to kind of those, what do we look for? There's no, apart from those grades, there's no sort of script in terms of the person that we want. But those apprenticeship opportunities are quite varied as well. So we can help people with that in case of more than one opportunity that they might want to go for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've got one, but may not be a complete question, so I'm trying to guess. This participant asked HVAC. Mechanical installation, operation, and maintenance. So maybe I guess he's trying to ask, are we having opportunities in these areas?
HVAC is a bit of a mix of the two, actually. So they'll work on electrical systems as well as the mechanical systems in HVAC, if that's what they mean. And HVAC is the general manager for HVAC business is Michael Anderton, another example of somebody who started his apprenticeship. So yeah, we've got a service and installation business under Michael as well, where we're recruiting for apprentices. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, as you mentioned about our senior leaders, I want to share with the team here to know our head of building solutions is also started joining as an apprentice, and then now he also worked his way up and now take up the very senior role. So we have a lot of examples showing you that you have a great opportunity here. Okay, one more. In the interest of time, I think this could be the last one. If I was to apply for a level 3 apprenticeship, would there be any requirement for levels, grades, or do you just take GCSE?
Yeah, for the level 3 apprenticeships, we just look at GCSE grades. So we would ask candidates to provide evidence of those if they've already achieved them. So yeah, as I mentioned, it would be 4 to 9 in the new grading system in England, and I know Scotland and Ireland, you have different grading systems, but we, again, all of our vacancies have our entry requirements on there, but it is just those school level qualifications that we look for. We don't expect any other qualifications on top of that. The rest is about you as a person and what you can bring to Johnson Controls.
Thank you, Victoria. I think in the interest of time, let's tell our participants how they can find the opportunities, how they can apply.
Apply.
So this is really important, isn't it? So now, as you can see here, there are some tips. First of all, if you want to prepare for an interview, Victoria, feel free to chip in after I gone through the content and in your advice too. Please do a research to understand the company, because I think this is really the basic and foundation. Understand whether this is a company that you like, you understand what they do. I think that those will be essential areas that you get yourself prepared, and then read through the job description and understand the role, understand the requirement. We will also advise you dress smart, even for virtual interview. Just take it as a real interview, because as Matt mentioned, your first impression counts. He said he will look at charisma. So make yourself be presentable. And then if it's an in-person interview, do arrive a little earlier, because you never know. Sometimes you need to find a way to get to the right room, because our company are also quite big. So yes, get in early, then you can be a bit more relaxed at the end. So, and then also when you if you are locking in like today, virtual meeting, we will recommend you do it at least 5 to 10 minutes beforehand, because sometimes you need to adjust your mic, adjust your camera to make yourself look recognize in the screen, on the screen. So be prepared to get that done beforehand, or check your equipment beforehand. And also the connectivity of the internet. Try to use a very stable internet connection. Remember, you should also ask some questions to show that you're keen. You are keen to learn. So prepare some questions before you meet your interviewee. And then enjoy. We want to you relax, because it is important to be yourself. Yeah, present your best self, be candid. I think this is what we would like to look for. Anything to add, Victoria, Matt, or even Jamie and Julia, because you all have experience.
Yeah, Julia, I guess you recently went through this process. So any tips from you?
Yeah, so definitely for the interview, we did it over Teams, and yeah, like Stella said, like just definitely have questions prepared, and I did a bit of research into JCI, and that really helped in the interview as well, just knowing the company well, and I think my job description on the for the application was quite broad. Like I didn't know I was going into Navy, I didn't know what department, so just doing a broad understanding of the company and what sort of aspects and why you're interested in engineering was the main thing, definitely.
Brilliant, that's great advice. And JB, your experience was a bit different because it was pre-COVID, all those 3 years ago. So you went through one of our assessment centres, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was probably much easier than Julie's. Can't imagine doing an interview over Teams. But yeah, I remember it like it was just yesterday. My interview with JCI was actually one of the first interviews I'd ever done. So I came in quite nervous. I wasn't really sure what to expect. But when it came to the day, it was pretty much just a back and forth conversation between me and my now line manager. So yeah, it was quite relaxed. I think it was just a back and forth conversation. I was asking a couple of questions. They asked a couple of questions, but yeah, it was really relaxed. And yeah, there's nothing really to be worried about. I'm
glad it was a two-way process. That's exactly how an interview should be. Is about you finding out about us and vice versa as well.
Matt, you've recently probably been involved in some apprentice interviews.
Yeah, I'd probably say the key is keeping your nerves under check. I know it can be really nerve-wracking. Sometimes it's people's first jobs, but there's nothing to be scared of. As I say, a two-way interview will be what you'll get. So you'll have the opportunity to speak. There's no wrong answers in an interview as well. That's important to remember. And if you put on the slide there, remembering to ask questions, do your research. Not just to you do your research for your interview, but to make sure that it's the right role that you're going for, and it's something that you want to see through.
Yeah, definitely. It's a commitment. It's a long-term commitment. I think taking an apprenticeship at Johnson Controls, it's not just about those 3 or 4 years, but really a career potentially for life for many of our colleagues. And I think keep this thing in your mind as well. When you go for interview, it's your moment to shine. So whether that's an interview with us or somebody else, it's your moment to shine. So absolutely take it.
Yeah. Now this is really important. How to apply? Now we provide a link here. We will also send out the PowerPoint presentation to the email that you use to register, so you can have these information at hand. But it's quite easy. Just jobs.johnsoncontrols.com, and then because in there you can type in apprenticeship and then apply jobs, and then you can also attach your CV there. But if not, it's very easy. You search Johnson Control Careers. It is quite easy to get to our career page, and then you can look up and choose your location as well. I did a test this morning. It's quite easy, so just do it after this call. And then a little bit more tips about your CV. Of course, you need to have your name, your email, your contact number, because we will need to call you up. Tell us where you're located, the town and the city, and then whether you have a driver license. That can be important. And then your GCSE qualifications, or if you have other qualifications, then you can tell us about which subjects and the grade. I think this next one is personal statement. You can adjust the statement according to the role that you apply. Sometimes I think you might use the same content to apply different roles, but do customize it and to fit into that role. And then another part will be your work experience. You might have some work experience before. Please include the employment date, to and from, and also the contract type. Okay. How about Victoria? Do you have anything to add to the CV?
Yeah, I think keep it concise. Have the facts on there in terms of qualifications, in terms of it, make sure you put all of your work experience on there. Don't leave work experience off, even if it's just, work experience you did whilst you were at school. Everything counts. And tell us about us. So do you do anything in your spare time? Do you have you volunteered? Do you have a particular hobby? Because that all makes for great conversation when we get to know you in interview as well. So yeah, concise and make sure you don't miss anything out at the same time. So yeah, I mean, we've got 85 vacancies this year for apprenticeships across the UK and Ireland. So the largest intake I've been involved in. So I hope this has been a really great insight for everyone, and I hope they've got a sense of a bit about what we're about as people at Johnson Controls as well, and what makes us unique as our culture. So I hope everyone's encouraged to click that apply button this afternoon.
There's one more slide. Here, I think I want to advertise a little bit. Please follow us on our social media. You will can stay abreast of all the latest update from our company. You can go to LinkedIn. You can go to Twitter. You can go to Facebook, but Facebook is ADT UK&I. So when you search, you do type in UK&I after our company name, then you will receive our latest information. You can also get more insight about our business as well. So as Victoria said, please do not hesitate after this call. Just go there, check out, we put the link there, go to search for an opportunity and take action. So this is the last slide we have. And I think once again, we very thankful for you joining us today, and hope you can have gained some insight. And then we look forward to seeing all of you in our company.